Subscribe. Hello, Crazy Wisdom subscribers. I got a request from the audience to talk about two different things. And one will be a talk on privacy, because I've done a lot of interviews. I myself am a private person, but also I am a public person in the sense that I have a podcast and I do a lot of interviews and my face is everywhere, so I can't really hide it. But I think about it all the time about how I would be private if my life allowed for it, and also how to give privacy to my guests. So I think I'm one of the first people who has done private podcasts. Um, in privacy can be either it's actually a business of mine where I pay me to do private podcast for them, and then we don't release it, but they use it for their AI, digging into their AI and their businesses and everything like that. It's a form of business therapy, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm also talking about private podcast in the sense that anyone can come on my podcast and they can be anonymous, and they can we can just do audio. And I haven't gotten there yet. If you have any tips on how to make the audio itself totally unidentifiable, that's a key part, because there's pseudonymous. Most people are pseudonymous because to get 100% privacy in this world is quite challenging. And so a lot of people are pseudonymous, and I've got my screen here so that I can start to show things about as they come up, but nothing's come up yet. So a lot of people are pseudonymous, meaning that they don't really care too much that if somebody does a little work and find them. I think Banksy is a good example of this. So if you're curious about being pseudonymous, you can just be Banksy, which means, people know who it is, but they just don't go out of their way. But then doxing is always the interesting thing, because one can get doxed. So I'd like to protect my guests from doxing, because doxing is really dumb. So we've got pseudonymous, and I also like to do I haven't done it yet either, but I'd like to do video podcasts with people where they can come on, have their voice scrambled, and also be an animation on the screen or blacked out. But I like the idea of doing animation, AI generated, so it looks like people are talking in a podcast, but there's no identifiable facial sort of a deep fake that's better around it. Now there is actually, I got this request from someone, and I want to maintain the privacy, and so I want to find a specific episode. Better to go to YouTube. Actually, I have done podcasts like this. That is a different podcast that I run. So let me see if I can find it. I'm going to pause this video while I find it. So this is a podcast I did with these guys, and not only does it show that I was able to give all of these people anonymity, this guy, he had his voice thing on his own side, so his voice was totally blocked from identification. No one else went that far, but as you can see, can't facially recognize anyone. And not only that, but this episode is important to listen for privacy, because they're trying to build truth beams and be able to do proof of liveness in a video call to essentially cryptographically prove that someone is who they say they are, rather than a deepfake. A really interesting interview, so I highly recommend go listen to that if this is interesting. So, but the other question that I got from the audience is related to digital sovereignty and self-hosted LLMs, servers, everything like that. So I can't bring it to you right now, but I have a Raspberry Pi. I am now hosting my website on my Raspberry Pi, and I did not code a single part of this. And this is hosted on my domain. In order for someone to take this website down, they would have to physically enter my property and kill me, and then open the computer and get through my passwords and do all these things in order to shut this down. I'm going to be moving my entire life to this form. I've got something else that I don't want to show that is basically allowing me to have my own private internet. If you're curious about how to do that, I could definitely teach you how to do it. Now, basically, I don't trust anyone anymore. I trust after 2020, after March 2020, I do not trust any institution, for sure. I do not trust any politician. I do not trust. That doesn't mean I don't have conditional trust. I definitely have conditional trust, but unconditional trust is now reserved for my dog that I don't have yet, or my emus that I had. So it's just not something that I do anymore. And, it's sad or whatever, but we live in interesting times. So I am preparing for a world where I can self-host my own LLMs. For this year, it probably won't happen, although those LLMs are getting smaller and more efficient. So it might actually happen, and you don't want to bet against AI progress. But the key things to recognize right now, this just goes into general AI stuff, is Claude SDK is amazing. You can build your own agents and have them totally on your own thing, but it's still making API calls to Claude's servers. And I don't trust Claude either. I think they're more trustable than OpenAI, but I don't trust them. So eventually, these are going to get so good on your own LLMs. The LLMs will be able to put on your consumer devices. Now, the key problem there is that OpenAI and his Scam Altman has been going around buying up all the memory. So we're in a memory crunch, and we'll probably be in that memory crunch for the next 1 to 2 years. So it could make it prohibitively expensive to do it. But I'm in the long-term game. 2 years from now, I'm going to have my whole thing set up so that nothing leaves my computer unless I specifically want it. And I'll make sure that everything is totally private and self-hosted. And state actors, who are you worried about? This is the key question. Who are you worried about? You can't protect yourself from state actors. State actors will, no matter what, if they want you, they will get you either through cyber or through the legal system. So the number one private protection there is just don't cross them unless it's righteous to do so, which it may be worth. But in that case, then rely on God as the ultimate protection, because that's the only thing that can protect you, and I think will protect you too. So that is my thoughts on the digital sovereignty. I will wait to talk about the second one. I'm going to wait to talk to the second one, but I got done with the first one. So hopefully this was important for understanding more about privacy.